the voice of the African Renaissance.
Our game changer this week is Kabelo Ncholo, who is the founder and managing director of Yourself Management. He formed the marketing agency in 2004. Today, the agency has grown into a team of over 300 employees operating throughout the SADC region, with a head office in Johannesburg and regional offices in Cape Town, Durban, Namibia, and Zambia. He joins us now in studio. Kabelo, thank you so much for your time and welcome.
Thank you for inviting me, Anastasia, and thank you to your listeners.
You have a very interesting story. Tell us, I'm not going to spoil it too much. I want you to be able to take us through that journey. How did your self-management start?
Actually, I always say it was a pure default. I'm not one of those where I knew I was going to end up in business. Actually, when I finished my matric, I had one passion: to pursue my medical interest. When I got to Joburg, I was late because of my financial background and whatnot. And I ended up having to work after pursuing the dean to literally be on the medical student to study medical on the intake of the year 2002. Then they actually sent me to go to work at the Lanseria Hospital. When I was working at Lanseria Hospital, I realized one thing: I can't stand blood.
Oh, wow.
So I'm allergic to blood, and this is a career from Standard 5 that I always wanted to be. And I was working as a waiter. So I had no plan. And I was just trying to find out what I could do. And while I was working as a waiter, the same year, 2001, the restaurant I was working at, we hosted matric farewells for like 4 schools, I think. And it bothered me because of one portion of the restaurant will be allocated for matric farewells, and we still serve other patrons on the other side. And we kept on telling the students or the learners on where they're celebrating the matric farewell to literally keep it down. It bothered me so much because the previous year, which was the year 2000, I had my own matric farewell, so we had a hall booked out and so forth. And the name came about and say, why don't I actually do them the matric farewell as students or as learners the way they would like it or they would want it to be? And that's where the name came. I started the company right then. The following year, I had the same school. I charged them 25,000 each, so I had 4 schools. That was 100,000. At the age of 19, I had so much responsibilities. Most of the learners were same age as me, and that's where it started as a business, and I kept on transforming till it is. And even for me to register, went in, I was cashing in the check. As I was cashing the check, and the cashier at the bank told me that the check is actually registered or it's for the business called Yourself Management. I was like, what do you mean? I thought it was for me. I need to pay rent. And that's how they sent me to the broker, and then I registered the company. And right thereafter, then I started to realize this is my calling. Then I'm into this thing called business.
Okay. What went into convincing the schools that you had what it takes to give the matriculants the best, party they would want or gathering?
I was bothered. I felt like they were not being served well, justice, and for me it was to make a difference to them. It was to serve them what they should have and value for what they have paid for. And that, to me, it was that. Money was the last thing when I needed it. And when I realized actually I can make money out of this, you can imagine how much motivated I was. So I was motivated for me to make a difference into them. The speeches were not well, so they were not free. They were not free, and that bothered me. And I always say to people out there to say, opportunity comes when you see something that bothers you. Then the money should be the last reward that comes afterwards. And that's how I got into business.
What has been your proudest moment thus far since the business has started?
My proudest moment was you start this business that is out of a tip, 350. You look back into it, 12 years later, this business is actually turning over 30 million rand annually, making a difference to people, employing over 300 people. It humbles one. You had this vision. You didn't know, it scared me. There were times I was asking myself, will it really work out? There were times where I was challenged. I couldn't pay my rent. I couldn't pay the basics. I even question the name yourself, where you question everything that you are doing with the business. And later, here it is, and the business servicing reputable clients that I never thought we will be able to service. And to me, that is a proud moment.
Well, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Anastasia.
That was Kabelo Ncholo. He is the founder and managing director of Your Self Management.